Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm going to get started in a few seconds. Okay, it's 4 o'clock and I'm going to get started. Today we're going to be creating the never-ending card. Now I showed this on a couple of my previous videos. The never-ending card starts out as a flat card, and then you, whoops, I got it upside down. Wait a minute. I didn't start on the right page. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so it starts out this way. It looks like it's flat, and then you just keep opening, and this one flips vertically. The next one flips horizontally, and then we got a center part and then another center part, and then we're back where we belong. So I'm going to show you how to create this today. Hi Diane, hi Fran, hi Sandy, hi Laura, hi Dixie. So glad you guys are here on a Sunday. So I'm not going to be showing you how to decorate the card. I'm showing you the card fold itself and then the layers for the designer paper. So I'm going to do a little bit of a different color. I'm using Tranquil Tide. You start out with, believe it or not, just 4 pieces of cardstock. They all measure 3 inches by 6 inches. So cut 4 of these 3 by 6. And then you're going to bring in your scoring tool. Hi Gloria, hi Sandy, hi Regina, hi Kelly, hi Kathy. Okay, you only need to remember one measurement. I didn't write them down for you because there's only one measurement when you're scoring. 1.5 inches. So you're going to do that 3 times on each end and then down the center. That's it, 3 score lines. So we're going to do that 4 times. You guys won't believe how easy this card is. It looks very intimidating and it's not. Kathy, yes, it is a crazy card fold. I was just thinking if I made one of these for my grandchild, I bet you she would play with it on and on and on. Okay, so I've got all 4 of these done. As you can see, there's 1, 2, and then 3 folds, or 3 score lines at 1.5 inches. Okay, now we're going to take 2 of these. We put them side by side, make sure they're butted up against each other and even on the top and bottom. I'm going to bring in a piece of washi. Hi Beth. Oh, you're going to make this at school with the students? You'll find that it's quite easy, believe it or not. Okay, I'm just tacking this together just so it won't move. Now I'm going to bring in some liquid glue, and I'm going to add glue on all 4 corners. The only thing we have to do once I glue the cardstock on here, we just have to let it sit for a minute. Now I'm going to take piece 1, piece 2. This is piece number 3. So these are going vertical. You're going to glue these on horizontal. And just make sure that they're even on the ends. Make sure everything is nice and straight. Hi, Rhonda. That's okay if you're late. You can go back and watch this. Okay, I'm just going to press down. Now, one thing that I want to mention as we get going, I'm going to let this sit for a minute. Now, when I first made this card, when I'm done, it ends up like this in this position. I prefer it to open this way. I don't know why, it just feels better for me this way. So once we have everything folded, you just keep folding and folding until you're ready with the part that you want to start out with. If you want to start out with this section here, that's where your section number 1 would be. So I decided I wanted my card opening this way for the recipient on the first shot. Okay, now what we're going to do, this should be enough time to glue. Now this opens like so. You're going to just flip it over because remember you have score lines already in the center. So you're going to go this way, press down. Same thing with the other side, press down. I'm going to remove the washi tape. And then we're just going to keep going. This is how we ended up. I'm going to turn it over, press down, and fold. So you're just making sure all of your score lines. And that's it. Look how easy that was. That's it. Seriously. So now if you want to start out the way I did, which would be this way. So mine opens 1 and 2 and then the other 2. That's it for the card fold, and then you just glue on your layers. Now let me go over the designer paper with you. And don't laugh at me, I cannot tell you how many of each that you need, because once you start flipping these, and I should have kept track as I went along, once you start unfolding some of these squares, as you see these, there's 8 little squares on the front. When you flip this way, it's already sharing these 2. I tried to go back and count, and it's just very confusing. So what I did is I cut a bunch, and these are the sizes you need. The 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So those are all the center panels, the bigger ones. And that, I know I have 6 of those. Those were easy to count. It's just when you get to these and these, it's harder to count. So if you want to keep track as you decorate your card, that way if you're doing a class, you'll know how many to cut ahead of time. Now the next one, which is the rectangular one, is 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. And then you have the small square, which is 1/4 by 1/4. Now, another thing to keep in mind, I have little squares here, but you could actually use a longer one if you wanted to. If you want to do away with the little squares, just do all rectangular. So it's up to you how you want. Now these, of course, you'd have to go with a small square because there's a split there between the both of them. So let's see if we can do a couple of these. Now let me go back to where I want to start, which is right here. And so the color I'm using today is Tranquil Tide. And this is the new designer paper called Nature's Poem. I had to go sneak a look. So this would go there. So I wouldn't go ahead and cut a whole bunch of designer paper ahead of time because, like I said, you don't know how many you need. So until you do your first one and keep track, I just didn't keep track and I should have. So I would do like one side at a time. And I will finish this card and I'll post it for you guys to see. Beth, yes, this designer paper is beautiful. Oh, Julie, I know what you mean. You know those she says those remind me of paper things we used to play with in school. Those little things you used to put your fingers in and you'd open. Yeah, I don't know what those were called. It's been too long. Okay, so that would be side number 1, and then you can just put whatever you want. I have seen a lot of cards that decorate all 3 panels. I am not a super simple card maker, but I also don't like clutter or busy. To me, this is plenty. And the same with here. I like having the designer paper off on the sides. I just think it would be too busy if you decorated all the panels. Okay, so now we're going to open this. And again, we're going to add 2 of the larger ones. And I would love to see what you guys create. I hope you do one, Laura. You said you like doing new card folds. Remember, you guys, if you do some of the cards I show you, please put them in the comments. Add a picture in the comments section so I can see what you did. And I usually showcase you on Facebook during the week too. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough designer paper cut out, but we'll see how far we can go. And it would be the same here. Instead of using the larger one, the longer one, you could use 2 of the smaller one. You could switch them out too and use both. So it's just a mix and match kind of thing. Okay, so we've got side number 1 is done, side number 2 is done, and then we go to side number 3. And I think because this paper is geared towards leaves, I'm going to do leaves on this one. And I did just make an announcement right before I went live. I'm going to go live again at 5 to show you guys the new in colors. I'm just going to do a little comparison between all the colors. So if you want to hold off and come back on at 5, I'll be here. Somebody else could cook supper, right? Okay, now this one I'm going to need 2 small ones and a longer one. So Beth, you said you were going to do this at school tomorrow. You can see that, I can see that the kids would be able to handle this. It's really intimidating when you first look at the motion of the card, but it is not at all. It's just hard to believe that this only starts out with 4 pieces of cardstock. Okay, and then there's my last one. Now here's where I would need 2 more longer ones, and I don't have those cut out, but I do have, okay. I almost had it all, see? So that would be my tip. As you start making one and gluing the designer paper in place, keep track of what you're cutting. And then you'll know how much to cut ahead of time if you're doing a class. Oh, and you know what I did too? I'm just trying to remember. I think I did a white piece right here, just in case somebody wanted to sign their name or a little message there that gives them room to do that. So I did the 2 designer papers and then just a smaller piece of white. So anyway, I'll finish this up and I'll post it so you guys can see how I decorate it. So let me go through this one more time for those of you that just came in. So it starts out this way. You open, open. And you do this 4 times to get back to the beginning. So it's pretty neat. So I hope you enjoyed this. I want to thank Rebecca Bullock is the one that asked me to do this. If there's a special card fold or technique that you guys would like me to do, just let me know. You can private message me or put it on one of the posts, and then I'll see what I can do for you. So I'll be back here at 5 o'clock Eastern time with the new colors, a comparison with the old colors. So I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks a lot.